Okay, we're going to make our photosynthesis anchor chart today. So in the top left hand corner, you're going to write photosynthesis, and then you're going to write the TEK that the state expects us to know. 7.5c, recognize radiant energy from the sun is transformed into chemical energy through photosynthesis. Okay, recognize radiant energy from the sun is transformed into chemical energy through photosynthesis. And at any point, if you need to pause the video so you can write something down, please do so. But we are going to proceed on. We're going to start by writing our photosynthesis equation. So, photosynthesis equation. There are different parts to a photosynthesis equation, and we're going to break them down. So that's what I'm writing, photosynthesis equation. First, let's start by breaking down the word photosynthesis. So photo means light. Okay, so when we take a photograph, we're taking a picture with light. And synthesis, the second part of the word, is to make. So synthesis is to make. Alright, so the actual equation is, and I'd skip a couple of lines because we're going to write stuff above and below, 6CO2 plus 6H2O. Okay, yields means to make glucose, which is C6H12O6. The plant makes glucose and it makes oxygen, so 6O2. Okay, so now we're going to label each part of our equation. So the first part is this part right here. On this side of the arrow are the reactants. Those are the things that we mix together to create a reaction, a chemical reaction. Okay, the arrow is called yield. And these over here are what are produced, so they are the products. Okay, so the reactants are these over here. We put carbon dioxide and water together to make glucose and oxygen. And really it happens in the plant, in the chloroplast, the chlorophyll of the plant. Okay, so the first one, if we were to look at this from a chemistry aspect, it's saying that we have 6 molecules of CO2. So what this kind of looks like would be I have 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms together. Okay, and I would have 6 copies of that, so I'd have 6 of those. Now, what this kind of looks like is it would be one oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen. And I would have 6 copies of that. So that's kind of what the chemistry portion is. You will not need to know that for the test, but that's good information for next year to kind of get you thinking about chemistry. So the first one we said was carbon dioxide. So you're going to write carbon dioxide. So plants take in carbon dioxide from the air, the stuff that you and me cannot breathe, and turns it into glucose and oxygen. The next one was water. So plants need water. And what they produce is glucose and oxygen. Remember, the oxygen is just a product that helps us. The glucose is what the plant's food. So this is food for the plant. Also, when you eat vegetables, and fruit, you get glucose. And then it changes into other things that you'll learn about in chemistry, but that's kind of the idea behind that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put a bubble around my, well, wait. One more thing, or two more things that I want to write down before I do my bubble. Coefficient, or coefficients, are these big numbers that are in the equation. So the coefficients are these big numbers that you see in the equation. Oop, that really smeared it. Okay, so coefficients are the big numbers tells us the number of molecules. The subscripts is the little number. It's kind of like the term submarine. It means that they are going to be underneath the equation. Like a submarine is underneath the water. So there are these little numbers that you see there below. Those tell us the number of atoms. Okay, now I'm going to kind of make my bubble around, because that was our equation and the parts of the equation. Okay. The other thing that you need to know about photosynthesis is that we take radiant energy from the sun